came across a drifting ship. I took a look inside. I found a note that someone wrote that said, take her for a ride. I set a course for sights unseen, went out to open sea. To my surprise, a bunch of sailors joined along with me. Now we're sailing on the mystery ship, and all the sailors here are really hip. There isn't any cost of membership. All you gotta do is join our trip. Yeah, I'm the captain of the mystery ship, and I'm a-calling all aboard this ship. I'm really hoping that you'll enjoy it up on the mystery ship. So bring a friend and come along with us aboard the mystery ship.
All right. I think everything is working. I really do. It's a strange feeling when everything worked. Let's have a look at those waves. They were a little rambunctious, a little irritating even. Just enough to let you know that Duska is at the helm. Duska, say hello to the fine people. I see my camera's up to its old tricks. What the hell? Deactivate, activate. Time for a new camera. Time for a new freaking camera. What else is new aboard the mystery ship? The show might be better, actually, if I left it like that. Your brother Zo's feeling a little bit under the weather. I don't know what the deal is. I never get sick. And one of the reasons I never get sick is because I firmly believe with every fiber of my being that I never get sick. And it's true. It's true. I only come down with a cold, like, fact here, like once every 4 or 7 years, okay? I've gone 7 years without being sick. I don't believe I'm sick right now, but I do have that funny little achy little feeling in all my joints, my elbows, and you know what? I'm not giving into it. I'm not giving into it. But I do feel like 40 miles of bad road. I feel like I just rode through Pennsylvania end to end. That's what I feel like. Not to pick on my friends from Pennsylvania, but one day, they will fix those potholes out there in Pennsylvania. That is I'm hoping that Trump will do something. There should be That should have been one of his campaign promises. Promises made, promises kept. I will pave new roads in freaking Pennsylvania. Please, no one from Pennsylvania send me any dirty emails, okay? I don't mean anything by it, but you know your roads are bad. You know they're bad. It's no surprise there. How are we doing out there? Looking around the horn. I always do this just because for years I was the worst broadcaster, and I still am. Okay, I am live at Pilled Foxhole. I'm live at Rumble, and there are 10 people at Rumble already. 10 Rumblers! Freaking love you guys out there. You Rumblers, you are first class, baby. Love you guys over there. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you being there very much. Very much so. Let's get a quick gander over at YouTube, where Abe Sinclair is riding the helm. Erica Rommel, Dragon Sage. Why Pennsylvania? Erica, I'm not kidding you. Pennsylvania, I don't care if you're on the freeway. I don't care if you're on the 2-lane highways that I prefer to ride on my motorcycle, or on just the little basic 2A streets in and out of suburbia. Pennsylvania, hands down, has terrible road. The asphalt is just, I don't know if they don't know how to do it or what their problem is, but I'm telling you, kid, you don't want to drive through Pennsylvania. It's just a pain in the, it beats the crap out of you. It does. Fact, not fiction. You can trust me on that one. I've ridden through it too many times. Now, Maine has got some beautiful freaking freeways. I'm sure there are some maniacs up there who are going to say, Zoe, you don't know what you're talking about. And and that's the funny thing about Pennsylvania, too, is because wherever you go, I don't care where you go. It is orange barrels forever. So they give the illusion that they're doing something about their roads, but they're really not. They're not. Wow, I'm all lit up, man. I'm like glowing and golden. Welcome aboard the mystery ship, my friends. I'm live in 3 out of 4 places. Let's check over at Twitch. We're twitching that ish? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. My buddy Matty F&B, a proud Pennsylvanian right there. Yes, good to see you. I'm sure he's actually agreeing with me. He's a fellow motorcyclist. He knows. He knows what it's like to get your ass handed to you on the Pennsylvania highways. And over at the home of the champions, where we will start our hellos tonight. I'm talking about none other than Lemon Land. Yes, D-Live. We've got some wonderful, wonderful sailors hanging out over there. Do not receive it. Yes. Look at all these people hanging out at D-Live. St. Nicholas bent over the handlebars without any lube. Dirt roads in Kansas are better than PA roads. See? St. Nicholas knows what I'm talking about. He is a former Pennsylvanian. He knows. He knows of what I speak. He's backing me up there. Yeah. And I love Kansas. Kansas is so flat and so beautiful and so nice. Let's say some hellos over there. Peggy Dancer is with us. Wonderful to see you. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing wonderfully. Lynn Winters in the house with the lemon. The big smiling lemon. The what if lemon. Willie Fixit is with us. LT Cooker in the house. Jayla, 17 aboard the mystery ship. Spudley, fresh from 3 Beer Men. Good to see you. Good to have you aboard. We've got Syllabor in the house. Mad Pogue stepping in. Bad Zoot in the house. Our gang salute for Bad Zoot. I'm a poet and I don't know it. Oh my goodness, we've got great folks hanging out over in Lemon Land. So wonderful to have you aboard. And look at it, they are throwing ice creams at me. I'm slipping and sliding all the way down through the annals that are Lemonland. Thank you all over there for your immense support of this program. You are extraordinary. Great to have you all there. St. Nicholas. St. Nicholas. Where do we get these people? He's got the most wonderfully twisted sense of humor ever. No wonder AC is madly in love. All right, so we're live in Lemonland. We're live at Twitch. Over here in YouTube, my goodness, we've got Phil Brad in the house. Erica Rommel is with us. Dragon Sage in the house. Abe Sinclair saying Zoho. Good to see you, Abe. I really do hope you're okay. I keep threatening to put up a picture of Abe Sinclair with a shirt on. Abe is one of those people that doesn't want to reveal his persona. He prefer to keep his private life private. I have so many ideas of how to tease my dear brother Abe, but maybe one of these days. One of these days. Again, checking in over at Rumble, just one last time. 13 of you. Lucky 13. Thank you for being there, Rumble. Starface, good to see you. Mad Pogue in the house. Thank you for getting around and doing what you do. Okay, over to the home of free speech in America. I am seeing Secret Weapon, Trick Pony, Pony Girl, Maddie's mom. How are you doing, kiddo? Let's see. There's more. Prairie Fire. Prairie Fire is with us. Safety Net 820. Madness Comic Network. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Fantastic people hanging out. Oh, we've been raided. We have been raided from 3 beer men. God bless the beer men. God bless them. Double D in the house. Father Larry is with us. Light Spear is in the house. Cosmic Grandpa, Wolfie Dog, the beer men. The beer men. An extraordinary bunch of fellows. I'm happy to say that I have met all 3 of the beer men. I may be the only guy to date who's met all 3 beer men. If you guys can prove me wrong, do so. I finally got off my dead ass this weekend, people. What a hectic week for your brother Zoe. This last week really took it out of me. Number one, I shared with you that I was, instead of doing my normal finger pointing at work and that kind of thing, I've been physically busting my ass this week, ripping out carpet at my boss's place, ripping out the carpet, ripping out the tack strip, ripping out all of the carpet padding, and then going along staple by staple by staple and pulling all of those out, sweeping and vacuuming, putting down a light, quiet little, very, very thin 1/8-inch foam padding, and then putting down hardwood floors. So unless you enjoy being on your hands and knees for 8 hours a day, which I don't, man, all I can tell you is I'm feeling it this week. But on top of that, we had my company Christmas party on Saturday, which was yesterday. This time yesterday, I was lubed up. We had a great time. We really had a wonderful time. The girls who put the party together did a great job, and everybody loved my video, so that was fun. I got to sit in with a band not once, but twice. Twice I sat in with a band. It was very cool. Very cool. A good time was had by all. The unfortunate part was at the end of the night when I'm ready to get the hell out of there. The band is tearing down the photo booth. We had, you know those little photo booths where 4 people can pose together, and then normally it spits out a strip of pictures like that you pay, $2 for. We had one of those. We do it every year, and we got all kinds of crazy hats and stuff that you wear. It's just a way for people to remember the evening and have a good time. And I stole a few of the pictures I found on the tables because I'll be able to use them against people. In fact, do I have them on me? What did I do with those? I did something with them. Gonna have to find them. I did, as I mentioned the other day, we were talking on, was it Wednesday night show? No, maybe it was last Sunday. Hell, it's all just a blur. It's all just a blur. I think it was last Wednesday we were talking about Christmas lights. And I was joking that, there's all these people that are Chevy Chase Jr. Like every town has their Chevy Chase. It's just, I don't know what it is. Some people just need that attention. And it's actually wonderful. I mean, to me, I say more power to them. If you're starting in September to put up the camels and lighting them up, by God, you deserve all the drive-bys that you get. I did go out and shoot a video because I mentioned to you a couple of places here in Oregon. One was my neighbor around the corner who is just absolutely ape shit for lights. Ape shit. And then I mentioned the homestead, and I don't know who this guy is, but some very, very wealthy individual with a tremendous amount of property does a picture frame all the way around his property. He lights up his entire fence line. He lights up the building. He lights up the trees. And you can see this. You can see this from 5 miles away. So I went and shot some video because I told you I would. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, here we go. Oh, I got a couple things to share with you, so this will be good. It's there is no volume, so I can just do a voiceover. I can do a voiceover while you're watching this. Are you ready? Let's have Zoe take you on a little cruise. Let's do this. Okay. Oh, let's get rid of the waves altogether. There we go. Don't need those anymore. Okay, let's go. So, this is our new cat, Phantom. I told you about Phantom. Just like the Phantom of the Opera, half of his face is white and half of his face is black. Isn't that apropos? Look at that. He looks like the Phantom of the Opera. And when I said Phantom, Mrs. Zoe said, "Oh my God, that's what we need to call him." So, while she was baking cookies today, and she's got the whole inside of the house lit up like a fairyland, I finally got off my dead ass. Yes, I did. And I lit up the outside of the house. I've been threatening to do this for weeks, but we needed it. I mean, it's Christmas time, right? That once in a while, once a year moment where you get out and call attention to yourself. So I didn't go berserk. I enjoy it. I like seeing the place lit up. We just had the house painted this summer. So, just outlining the barge rafters is all that's really necessary on the house. But this is the side that faces down below. Now, I have to laugh here, okay? See this toy? It's a toy tunnel, right? Mrs. Zoe buys this cat all kinds of toys, but you give him a brown paper bag, and this cat is entertained for hours with nothing more than a brown paper bag. It's crazy. Crazy. All right, so this is that house I was telling you about. Now, I am shooting this from like 3 miles away. I zoomed in on it. That was the guy with the major property. Now, this, my friends, is Chevy Chase in my local neighborhood. Okay, this is the guy. This guy, he puts on the dog every freaking year. Now, I went past to. He's got every tree lit up. He's got camels. He's got American flags. This guy is nuts. I mean, and God bless him. God bless them for doing it, because airplanes can find Medford thanks to this man. Thanks to this man doing what he does. I think that's great. I think that getting excited for the holidays is something, it's special. It's once a year. It's once a year, and it means something. Doesn't it mean something? It should mean something to you. It's special. Speaking of special, I have to tell you, I'll be honest with you folks. I don't know how much your brother Zoe has in the tank tonight. I'm not kidding. I'm really rough around the edges. I mean, I'm hurting. There's a pretty good chance that I'm calling this on the account of weather, meaning that I am under the weather. God, I don't want to get sick. I do not want to get sick, but I cannot deny the fact that unmistakable feeling that you've had your ass whooped by something, and it's a little microbe. You know what it is? Last night I met hundreds of people. People came and shook my hand. Oh my God. So perhaps I came down with a creeping crud from somebody. I don't know. All I know is I've got a short break. I got a short break here. Where is it? Here we go. Let's do this one. I haven't played that one in a while. Yeah, I haven't played that one in a while. And I'll see you on the other side of this short video, and then I will pontificate just a wee bit and perhaps take a phone call or two. And then we'll probably call it a night early. There are a number of people in need of prayer, folks, and that is big. That is important. If I did nothing else, I would go immediately to the Sunday night prayer list, because, man, there's a bunch of people in need. Anyway, I'll see you on the other side of this video. So glad to have you here. My name is Dee. Good to see you. Here, glad to have you here. All right, let's do this. This is some wild man loose on the streets of New York. Whoop. Folks, it is your brother Zoe. I am coming to you from a part of New York which I believe they call the East Village. Now, I don't know a whole lot about the East Village, but there is something I can tell you. As you wander down this street, this is called St. Mark's Place. I am just a little bit south of First Avenue. There's a magical little place right here. Magic? What do you mean, Zoe? What's magic about it? Well, let me tell you, back in 1975, Led Zeppelin, probably my favorite band, shot the front cover of their monumental album, Physical Graffiti, right here. It was, there was some sleight of hand done, and it's been 48 years, things have changed, but let me assure you, without question, I've done my research, the picture on the cover of this album was shot basically right where I'm standing, and let me prove it to you. Here's the album. And there's the building. See the faces? See the faces above the doorways? Well, there they are. This is it. This is it. Now, on the album, they had to reduce it to a 3-story building so it would be square. So they chopped the top story off. But that is the album, and that is the actual building. Little piece of history right here in East Village. One other funny little thing about that building. In 1983, 8 years later, the Rolling Stones did an album called Tattoo You, and on it
was a very popular song of theirs called I'm Just Waiting on a Friend. If you look at that video, it was also shot right there on that very same doorstep. Mick Jagger and Keith Richards were sitting right there. There must be something magical about this building.
It's always neat to come across unusual landmarks. America is dotted with so many things that I want to stop in and see. You know, and they're normally out in the middle of nowhere. Many years ago, I was driving cross country. This is long before my show. I was driving my pickup truck, going from where was I? I was in Hartford, Connecticut. Yeah, West Hartford, Connecticut, and I was returning to Los Angeles. And I like to take the road less traveled. It's more fun. You see America. And I've always felt that way. I do a lot of my traveling, especially long distance traveling. I like to do it at night. Less cars, less hassle. You can put the pedal down and nobody seems to bother you. I've shared the story before about going through Texas on I-10 at about 100 miles an hour, about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I got pulled over by Texas, what are they, the Rangers? Yeah. And guy says, "Where's the fire?" And I said, "There's no fire, buddy. I'm out here all alone. Didn't think I was hurting anybody." He goes, "Well, I'll tell you, you keep it down around 90, nobody's going to give you any hassle at this time of morning. 90, that's good. But do you have to do 110? And I'm like, "No, officer, I'm quite happy to do 90. And he let me go. I mean, cool dude. Just had me dead to rights. In other states, they would have cited me for reckless. If it was California, you get a reckless driving ticket if you're pulled over past 100 miles an hour. Oh boy. So all the talk about Christmas and everything had me reminiscing yet again. I was laying in bed after our show the other night, talking about the 60s television shows and all that, and you guys, your calls and everything, you got me thinking about all kinds of stuff. I'm not kidding. I lay in bed thinking about, just reminiscing about all the stuff that just isn't part of today's discussion. And I was joking with Mrs. O earlier tonight. We were talking about how decorating your tree is unique in that it's different every year. Every single year, it is different. And I'll tell you right now, I don't have to see it. I don't have to go there. I know for a fact that in my mother's house in South Carolina right now, her tree is up, and at the bottom of it is the same construction paper chain that I made in kindergarten. In 1964, they had us take construction paper and snip a bunch of little long pieces, and then we folded them, and we used a little, I don't know, some kind of paste glue, and we made chains, and I think mine was like 6 feet long. And I was so excited carrying it home that day across Stevens Avenue over to my house, and I showed it to my mother. My mother, to this day, oh, damn it, folks, I am coming down with something. I do. Somebody said, "You sound nasally." I do. Man, I don't believe this. I don't believe it. I'm not going to get sick. I'm not going to get sick. Damn it. Anyway, my mother still has that silly construction paper chain that I made in kindergarten. It is now 60 years old. 60 years old, 61 years old. And she proudly puts it up each year. She has admitted that one or two of the joints she has had to re-glue over the years. But it reminded me of our family. And we had a tradition in my house that is different than most. We would get our tree very close to Christmas. I know a lot of people get their trees up and put them up, some people immediately after Thanksgiving. Okay? But our family, we bought the tree. We bought the tree the week of Christmas. And our house was unique in that it was two-story. The living room was 2 stories. You walked in the foyer and immediately turned to the right. You went up a staircase and you went over to a bridge, a little second-story bridge that connected the left side 2 stories to the right side 2 stories. All the downstairs room, the billiard room, my dad's office, the dining room and kitchen, that was all lower floor. And then above them were the bedrooms. But the main living room, when you walked in past the fireplace, our house was 22 feet tall from the floor. You just walked in and went, holy guacamole. Well, my dad, I swear to God, he bought this house thinking of Christmas. He had to, because every year we would go and get trees. And the funny thing, I always laugh at this because there were Christmas tree lots. There were Christmas tree lots everywhere in Northridge, California in the 1970s. Okay? Everywhere. And, if you wanted a bigger tree, and when I say bigger tree, I'm talking 16, 18, 20 foot, the big ones. They didn't sell those on every street corner, okay? You could get your little 6-footers all day long outside of Home Depot or Ole's or whatever the hell, but if you wanted the big trees, you had to go to certain lots. My dad used to tell this to me and my brother every year. Say the same thing every year when we were going to get our tree. Boys, I'll tell you a little something. Instead of buying our Christmas tree right here in the middle of town, we're going to go across the tracks because you can save $50 on a tree getting them over in the poor side of town. I hated to tell my dad that, when we came rolling in his Audi or his Mercedes, that he wasn't fooling anybody, okay? Now, if we'd have taken my 1951 Chevy pickup over into the poor side of town, he might have been able to get the tree a little cheaper, but he wasn't fooling anybody with his with his Audi. The only one in San Fernando that evening, cruising the streets looking for Christmas trees. But he did it. Every year he got these trees that were, oh my God. I mean, standing on the second story, that land bridge I was telling you about, you could reach out and put the star on the top. He got these tremendously gigantic trees. I don't know how he... Start the ivermectin right away. NX17 says, yeah, really, I should. I've never had the C word. I could probably say it, but I won't. I don't believe in it. I don't believe I could get it, and I'm going to feel great. I'm going to feel great, I promise you. Orange juice, vitamin C, and sheer willpower. I'm not going to go down. So my dad would get these giant trees. And he was very, very proud of the ornaments. We had 4 boxes of ornaments that were from the 1950s. And very special. My mom still has them to this day. Back when ornaments weren't plastic, they were real. I mean, like, I don't know what they were made of, but they could break. They could break, and we very gently, we wrapped them, and oh man, they were carefully wrapped. My poor mother, she worked so hard to preserve all those all of those ornaments, those really, really fancy ornaments. And you had the one-off ornaments, the stuff that you collected each year. I know that when I was raising my young family, I would get a New York Jets ornament every year, and it has the date on it. And as of late, for a while there, I was collecting Harley Davidson ornaments, with the year on them. Those are kind of fun, but yeah, it's sad. It's sad, and it's hard to believe because I'm really, for the most part, a very positive person. Okay, there's nothing negative about me. I'm not cynical. I'm not. I'm just. I always look for the good. I'm not somebody who looks at the bad. I mean, if I find bad in something, I'll be the first to report on it. But for the most part, I want to give humanity the benefit of the doubt that we're all in this mess together, just trying to eke out an existence through consciousness and have a wonderful existence till we get to the other side and live happily ever after. Man, our Christmas trees paled in comparison to what my dad did with his giant living room. But it was always fun to remember. But those ornaments that I was telling you about, they go back to, we moved and moved and moved and moved. Let me think. I lived in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different houses growing up. I lived in 8 different houses growing up, and I remember something special about each and every one of the places. This is with my dad's family. He was upwardly mobile. We moved from the East Coast to the West Coast, and then we moved from Los Angeles down to San Diego, and then they realized that was a mistake and moved him back to Los Angeles where the poor man could catch an airplane. All he did was travel, and they put him out in the middle of freaking nowhere. It was the stupidest move ever. But anyway, the old boy, he collected a lot of things. And he would tell us the same stories year after year. I remember him sharing this story with my brother and I about him hanging ornaments with his dad. And he said to his dad, "Look, Dad, these say unbreakable." And his dad looked at him and he said, "No, they're breakable. Don't you worry." My dad's held the ornament out and dropped it from 4 feet, and it broke on the ground. And his dad wanted to whip his ass because they didn't have a whole lot of money, and he just broke one of their precious ornaments. And anyway, but our tradition was to put the tree up, and trees kind of settle in after about a week. The branches kind of, they level out, and they get, and you can trim them and make them, manicure them, and then we always decorated our tree on Christmas Eve. It was a family tradition. And I'll tell you what I liked about it is that the whole spirit of Christmas, we hung our lights early, okay? We did get our lights up. My dad was pretty good. The lights were typically up first week of December. And we took them down put them up and took them down every year. None of this leaving your lights up all year shit, okay? No. But Christmas Eve, we decorated the tree. And my mom would have snacks going, and we'd have Christmas music, and we'd all, one by pull the boxes out, and the same thing every year. Remember this one? Remember this ornament? This is the one, and there was just all the stuff. The same stuff that you guys probably went through with your families, we went through with ours. What I liked about the way we did Christmas is you have the holiday known as Christmas, right? All of December, they're playing Christmas music. There's hustle and bustle in the malls and the towns. They put garland across the streets, Merry Christmas and lighting and all that. But by decorating your tree on Christmas Eve, and then we'd all sit back. My dad would have a little Remy Martin and dip his cigar in it, and we would all sit back and look at this just incredible freaking tree, and pat ourselves on the back, quite rightly, quite rightly. And then you wake up in the morning to a gazillion presents underneath. And it was that rush, okay? Just no different than dropping a bong load of your favorite smoke, okay? That major rush you feel, Well, it was the same kind of rush at Christmas, because out of nowhere, all of a sudden there was something, and then the next morning there was something even more dramatic after that. And it was so vastly different than this is, one of my favorite things to piss and moan about, and I'm going to keep it to a minimum, because I've mentioned this no less than 3 times on this show. But when I was married, my ex-wife was the younger of 2 children, 2 sisters who were like 8 years apart, and their family dissolved when my wife was only like 3 or 4. And to make up for the fact that her father was out of the picture, and this guy was out of the picture, the mother spoiled them rotten. And to the point of the ridiculous. I would talk to her aunts and uncles and others, and they would say, Al, you've never seen anything more ridiculous. There would be presents that covered the entire living room floor of their house. That's how many presents these girls got. The mother spoiled the kids to try to make up for the fact that their father wasn't around, and try to make it so I just think that's, I'm sorry, I just think that's preposterous, okay? And when we, as a young family, I married the woman, and she had our first of two children, and she had a 4-year-old boy from a previous endeavor. She was a widow when I met her. She did the same thing. She would put up the Christmas tree literally right after Thanksgiving. And she would start putting wrapped presents under the tree like the first week of December. And I'm like, it's 25 days until Christmas. This is, and kids will be kids. That's just the way kids are. When mom's not looking, when she's cooking in the kitchen, the kids are going to take the presents, and they're going to work at the tape and kind of open it up and peer inside and shake it around and try to figure out what it is. Oh, this is some Barbie stuff or what, and instead of sitting around watching TV or doing the regular things that kids did, they would sit there staring at the tree, and her mom would say, "Oh, just go ahead and open it. Pick one present each, and go ahead and open one." And this happened year after year. What would happen is the kids would open presents like one a day, every day, and then by the 15th or the 16th, there weren't any presents left. They'd all been opened already. And then she'd say to me, "Oh my God, we've got to go buy more presents." And I'm like, "No, we don't. No, we don't. I'm out there busting my ass 7 days a week, in the freezing freaking cold, while you're sitting here eating bonbons." No, I'm kidding. I'm not an asshole. But she would go and buy more presents. so that there was something under the tree on Christmas Day. And it was preposterous. It was absolutely, because of that, because of witnessing that, I experienced about, honestly, about a decade of what I call the bah humbugs. And really, it's sad. It's sad. I was so disgusted at what I had witnessed that, right after our divorce, from probably, I'm not kidding you, from about '04 to probably, I don't know, at least 6, 7, 8 years, I just didn't want to have anything to do with it. All I thought of it as was a commercial nightmare, and how America is getting built, the sale, big sale, and all they really do is jack the prices up and then convince you that they're selling them to you at a great rate when the sale price is actually the regular retail price. It's just the whole thing disgusted me. Really, really, yeah. Cosmac says a Hallmark holiday, if I ever heard one. It would have made great drama. I'm telling you, Cosmac, it would have. I'm happy to say I got over my bah humbugs. I did. And now I enjoy this time of year more than ever before. In fact, it was so much fun hanging those lights today. We finally had, honestly, the weather as of late, for the last couple of weeks in Oregon, it's been bitterly cold. It has been raining nonstop. And I mean, not just raining, I mean pelting. So today was this, I woke up, it was sunshiny. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to hang the lights. And I got up out of bed and I poured my coffee and I said to myself, I am going to go hang those lights. And I did. And I felt good about it. It felt great putting them up. I even went the extra step. I went and I got all those little cup hooks, because of the fact that the house has been painted. Rather than drive a bunch of nails, or I got those little cup hooks, so it'll be very, very easy to disconnect the lights and take them down. So I'm satisfied with myself. But while I was doing it, I was thinking about how Christmas has changed in my lifetime. And I was laughing with my brother the other day when I was young, and I'm talking the 1960s, okay? I'm a kid in New Jersey, and we would put tinsel on our tree. My dad loved to put tinsel on the tree. Well, let me tell you, back in the day, tinsel, I don't know if it had tin in it, but it had metal in it, okay? It was made of metal. And you could build up, if you took your shoes off and you rubbed your socks, like on the carpet, rubbed your feet back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and you took your finger and you held it out to the dangling thing of tinsel, the tinsel would get pulled over to your finger and then spark, and it would shock you. It was static electricity, but it was freaking cool. Tell me, does anybody remember that? Does anybody besides me remember when tinsel really was made of metal and you could get shocked by it? Because I always thought that was the coolest thing. And now tinsel is all freaking plastic, all right? But it used to be freaking metal, and it used to be freaking cool. It was so much fun. Let's see. Now, people are trying to guide me. They're trying to guide me in my health, and I appreciate that. I'm going to go back and reread these chats. So you guys always, Dragon Sage says, go to bed, Captain. Can you tell that I feel like shit? Can you tell by looking at me that I feel like shit? Yeah, I do. Tinsel, oh my goodness, Cosmac just nailed it. Tinsel falling on the railroad tracks would short the track. Yes, it would. We, of course, we've talked about this on previous mystery ships before. Yes, we always ran our Lionel train set under the tree, and when that tinsel would fall off the branches and go across the tracks, it would short out the train. Oh my goodness! You just took me back. You just took me back, Cosmac. Very cool. I forgot about that. I completely forgot about that. Very true. Very, very true. I just hung my first ornament tonight. I got a nice surprise in the mail today. Look at this. Look at this. My buddy Doodah Man, our Ben, the Doodah Man, our buddy from Florida, a huge Grateful Dead fan. You know what? I could set my watch by this guy. He always sends me a little something at Christmas, and this came today, and I just absolutely love it. I said, "Dang, I'm wearing that on the show tonight." Doodah Man, I freaking love you. If you're out there listening, he always listens on my Saturday rock show. But Doodah Man, I freaking love you, dude. Way to go. Way to go. Ah, man. Okay. So I've actually gone an hour, which is more time than I thought I was going to be able to, because I'm feeling it right now. First of all, I'm in an ice cold garage. I do have one heater pointed at me over here and another heater pointed at me over here, but that achiness I was telling you about, it's now in my knees. I'm not going to get sick. I'm not going to get sick. I've got some of that. I've got some of that Z-Stack stuff. I'm going to go bomb. I'm going to go in and bomb some Z-Stack. Oh boy, this just doesn't feel good. Just doesn't feel good. I think I'm going to, and I don't like doing this, but I think I'm going to knock the show off early, people. I'm just feeling like crap. But I didn't want to leave you hanging on a Sunday night. This is one of those nights where I really, it was such a busy weekend for me. I got to go get some rest. Especially if I'm going to try to go to work tomorrow, which I shouldn't. I should take tomorrow off and just fight this off. Fight it off. One thing that I always do, always do on Sunday nights is list the people that we know who are in need of prayer. And we've got some wonderful people out there who share when they find that others are in need of prayer. I got such an email today from my brother, Prairie Fire, who let me know that our sister right here, she's in the chat tonight. Her name's Kristen, but everybody knows her as Maddie's mom. She's out there. She's in the chat over there at Pilled Foxhole. Maddie's mom has a big week medically. Okay, tomorrow she is going in for a pre-op surgery. She has a neuroma in her foot. It's benign, but it's causing a lot of pressure and a lot of pain. She's having surgery on Wednesday to remove it, but the pre-op is tomorrow. I would like to ask you all to please keep our friend Kristen. Let's use her stage name, Maddie's mom. Everybody knows Maddie's mom. Please keep Maddie's mom in your prayers. I would ask that we pray that God guide the doctor's hands, the doctor's thoughts, their everything from their diagnosis to right down there where they're whipping out the scalpel, that God guides their hands, and that she has very, very quick healing and is back to her old self as quickly as possible. Our dear friend Maddie's mom, please keep her in your prayers if you would. Another person who needs prayer is a wonderful woman by the name of Claudia Murray. This is my aunt. I just learned about this. Yesterday, day before yesterday. My aunt went in for a checkup, and they found, I guess, some type of breast cancer in lymph node. It's some of that woman stuff. All I know is I love this lady. She is the coolest aunt. She has to be, because she's married to my cool uncle, okay? This is my mom's youngest brother, and he's only like 10 years older than me. And we were tight back when I was a teenager, when I was a mid-teenager and he was in his early 20s. We saw things the same way. We used to jam together. He plays the drums. A really, really great man in my life. This is his wife, Claudia. I would ask that we please pray for Claudia, that the doctors are guided by God himself and deal with this in a prompt, swift manner where she receives a full healing in and out. I mean, thank God that medical procedures have advanced so much just in my lifetime. I mean, it's amazing. As a kid, I remember my dad having cartilage taken out of his knee, and he ended up with a cast from his ankle to his crotch. And when the cast finally went away, he had, like, on both sides of his kneecap, he had scars that looked exactly like the laces on a football. That's what it looked like on both sides of his knee. About that. Well, I mean, nowadays, arthroscopically, you get two teeny tiny little holes. They go in, they knock out. I'm hopeful. I am hopeful that that Claudia just gets the best treatment, and that the doctors find a way to nip this in the bud. Please keep Claudia Murray in your prayers if you would, my friends. This next one is a big one, a very big one. There are two people that are in need of your prayers tonight. It's a mother and her son. I'm talking about Denise Lowry and Daniel Lowry, two very wonderful people that I know. And Denise just lost her husband of, I think, 25 years. This is devastating. Not only is it devastating at Christmas time, but he fought hard. He really, really fought hard to stay alive, and it eventually got him. A better guy, you'd never meet a better guy than this dude right here, and I will miss him. I will miss him dearly, Glenn Howell. But Denise and her son Daniel are they're pretty much devastated right now. Losing your father, losing your husband at Christmas time would be devastating for anybody. I just pray for this family that they find some kind of consolation, some small way their burden is lessened. Please keep Denise and Daniel in your prayers, if you would, my friend. I'm also going to ask that we continue to pray for our friend Gary Flessner, still fighting the good fight. Gary's got a tough situation. We've been praying for him for a very, very, very long time, and we're not going to stop. Same with our dear friend Dave Maddox, Cherie Maddox has been taking care of her husband now for holistically for over 3 years, and she's done an amazing job fighting off the cancer in his body without chemo, without any of the, all the expensive, ridiculous procedures that they have now. I would ask that we please keep Dave Maddox, please keep Gary Flessner in your prayers, folks. These two men have had just a heck of a challenge thrown their way, and they're both fighting the good fight. Please don't forget them, especially this time of year, especially right now. Our sister Leah Worth. This is one great lady. I really hope to get her on the show again very, very soon. Leah was one of my first guests 3 years ago. She shared how when she was basically in a coma, how she went to heaven and met Jesus and got shown all around heaven, and she shared an incredible story of like the unique animals she saw that in heaven that we don't have here on. I mean, her story was so moving, it brought me to tears. I hope to get her back very soon, and we're talking about it. We're going to make it work. She is currently taking care of her mother, who lives next door. Her mother has just had 2 surgeries, and she's got her hands full. And the thing is, Leah herself is also suffering from maladies that the regular person would want to throw in the towel. But this woman has got an inner resolve that is extraordinary, and I love her to death. Please pray for Leah Worth and her mother, that the two of them have wonderful holidays, and that again, in some small way, that their burden is lessened. That is what I would ask, that their Christmas is made special. They're amazing. They're amazing people. And gosh, I hope she gets to come on this show very soon. All right, folks, I'm going to sneak out of here. I'm sorry, your brother Zoe is. I feel like I'm under the weather. I don't want to go under the weather, but that unmistakable feeling. I'm going to go fight this off. Instead of huddling out here in my ice cold garage, I'm going to go climb into my nice warm bed and think warm and fuzzy thoughts. I'm going to get out of here, people. Let me release the scratching over at Pilled Foxhole. Thank you to the wonderful people who donated to the show tonight. The scratching is hereby released. There we go. And over here in Lemonland, they have put a dent in her tonight. Yes, they have. I want to welcome Karen Valhall. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us aboard the Mystery Ship, a new sailor. Always pleasure to have a new sailor aboard. Let's see. Oh, look at this. They've changed up. They've changed up the treasures over there that end up in the treasure chest. Look at this. We've got bells instead of lemons. We've got ice creams. We've got diamonds. We've got ninja sleds and ninjets. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Let me throw a little something in here to make it more exciting. All right, I'm going to release the treasure chest over there at D Live, and I hope you guys win something. Win yourself a little something. Bragging rights right there. Okay, ready? Bingo. It's coming your way. 17 seconds from glory right there. Yeah. Boy, I can feel it in my sinuses. I got a stuffed up head. This is no fun. Oh, boy. All right. Thank you for the bells, St. Nicholas. Okay, here it comes. Here it comes right now. The treasure chest is opening, and Spudley on top of the heap, Lynn Winters, LT Cooker, Bad Zoot, and P. Dan Peggy Dancer. Congratulations, you guys. Good for you over there. Good for you over there. I want to thank, I've got new people over here. Trisha Joe, thank you so much for your donations to the show. Great to have you aboard. Wow. Lumberjack Steve, thank you. Dandy 002. Lynn Winters, thanks all you guys. Bad Zoot, of course. You guys make the world go round. You put wind in my sails. And I'm going to get out of here, people. Your brother Zoe is a hurting unit right now. Sorry for the abbreviated show, but just sometimes you know when you just got to hang it up. And this is one of those times. I hope you have a great week ahead. I will see you Wednesday night. Hopefully I'm feeling much better by then. I have a positive outlook on this. I don't give up easily. I firmly believe that I won't get sick. I won't get sick. You can't make me. But I'm also a realist, and I can feel that there's something funky going on. So I'm going to nip it in the bud right now. You guys, have a great week. Let me check in over here at Pilled Foxhole and see who we can go raid. Who can we go raid? Let's set a raid. All kinds of interesting people out there. A bunch of different friends. I love them all. You know what? Let's go here. I like that girl. She's been a guest on my show. We're going to send her some love. All right. I'll see you all on the flip side. Take care of yourselves, my friend. Happy holidays to all. I'll see you Wednesday. I will see you Wednesday. Be good, my friends. Take care.